Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile and I'm the host of the Dawn program. Today we're going to talk about the International Francophonie Day. It is being celebrated every year on March 20th. And to shed more light on this day, why is this day important and why more than 360 million people around the world commemorate this day every year. Joining me right now in the studio is the Ambassador of France to South Sudan, Marc Trouyet. Marc, it's good to have you with us here.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. It's actually a very great pleasure to having you and to be with you today and to speak about Francophonie.
Yes, Ambassador, tell us, why is this day important, the International Francophonie Day, and what is its significance to a country like South Sudan?
Well, it is important, I think, because it is definitely showing that the people that have the French, that's sharing the French language, they are diverse. So you will find French people, French-speaking people throughout the planet, on the whole continent, in the Americas, in Europe, of course, in Africa, in Asia, in the Pacific. So I think it is important to show that we are diverse. So we are sharing one language, but we are coming from all the continents and we're using the language and we are enriching the language in a very, very diverse way. So this is important to have one day, and actually 1 week, because we are celebrating all this week long the day of the French language. So that's all the meaning of this ceremony. But it is also very important for us to commemorate it, not only because we are celebrating this diversity, but also because this is a moment to reflect on the creativity of the French language. And this is also a way of saying that this language, the French that we are sharing among, you said almost 400 million people, it is a language which is something which is alive, meaning it is evolving. So there are new ways of speaking the language every year. So that's a way of saying it. And this is why this year we decided, for instance, to launch a poetry contest. So for you still have time. Well, actually, it will be finishing Thursday evening. But there is we launch a poetry contest in French, of course. Also, just because we know that there are some poets, and so French is also a language of poesy.
And love as well.
And love, of course.
All right, Ambassador Marc, let's go to the genesis of this language. How did it start? When did people start learning or speaking this language, French?
Well, the origin of the language are way back in the Middle Age or before that. It is a Latin language, so coming back from the Roman Latin, and so in that respect, it is close to Italian, to Spanish, Romanian, Portuguese, so it has evolved through the centuries, and it has widespread also in different continents.
Right. And then, Ambassador, previously there was a plan to establish French schools in South Sudan, and even here in the capital Juba and some parts of the country, including Western Equatorial State, because the state is bordering French-speaking country, the DRC. So what happened to the plan? Where are we from that plan, Ambassador?
Well, actually, there are already some schools where you can learn French in South Sudan. So you have, in primary schools, there are schools that are private for the time being, where the students can learn French. So this is one place, and actually the French Institute, which is also a second place where you can learn French, is in the University of Juba. This is a place where we are roughly, on average, there are 100 people that are coming in the French Institute to learn French. So, but they are mostly adults. And with the French Institute, we have partners with some of those primary schools, precisely to support the teachers and the pupils to learn French, to expose what they've done. So this is part also what we did last year, for instance. We had another poetry contest, but this time by the students, and they have written their poetry on postal cards. And we are also going to have some kind of a contest between all those postal cards. Coming back to your question about where are the teaching of French in South Sudan? Well, I think that we have to recognize that French definitely is not the first foreign language that is going to be taught. But there is a recognition by the South Sudanese government of the importance of learning French as a second language, an option. And so this is a policy that the government has been launching in 2020. But because of COVID, I think it has been encountering some delays. But we definitely see that this is a way of maybe helping the government in the future months, once the COVID crisis and all the school system will get back almost to normal. So to try to see where we can be of support. And you're right to mention Yambio, because Western Equatoria definitely is very close to the two neighboring French-speaking countries of South Sudan, which are the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Central African Republic. So two French-speaking countries. And then in there you will find actually that there are a lot of trade, for instance, being done between DRC and South Sudan, where it is very useful for traders, for people that want to exchange, to have an understanding of the French language. So there are, of course, not only for the beauty of the language, but also for economical reason. There is an interest.
Yes, and the contest you talked about, can you shed more light on that? If someone wants to participate and to take part in the contest, how is it going to be, or how are you actually handling this?
Well, so we have published on the Facebook page of the embassy, we have published the form. So basically you have to write a poetry and to send it to the embassy, and we're going with the Institut Français, the French Institute. We're going to decide and who is going to be the winner. So there are different prizes because of course we're taking into consideration the level of French. So there will be competition among people that have a certain level of French and those who are already almost fluent in French, so that there will be different prizes given on Saturday or announced on Saturday for the winners.
And give us some examples of the prizes, the categories.
Well, the prizes, there will be mainly T-shirts and a welcome package to the French Institute.
Yes, and Ambassador, this year the International Francophonie Day is being celebrated under the theme Francophonie, Women, Resilient Women. So can you elaborate more on this theme?
Well, Francophonie, as I said, is gathering a lot of diverse countries. But in all those countries, African countries, European countries, American countries, we all recognize that the role of women is critical, both for development and for peace. And so we know that a lot of the efforts in development, in peace building, are lying on women's shoulders. And we know that if they are successful in bringing us peace and helping us building development, is because they are resilient, and sometimes way more than men. So we want also to celebrate through Francophonie this particular resilience of women. And this year in particular, France will be also hosting in end of June, early July in Paris, what we call the Equality Generation Forum. So a forum which is organized by UN Women, a UN agency which is dedicated to promoting the equality between women and men. And so we're going to organize this forum. Hopefully there will be a delegation from South Sudan to precisely promote and decide some more practical measures to increase equality between men and women, and to praise this resilience of women in building peace and building development.
Right. And Ambassador, what key message do you have to over 369 million people around the world who speak French language as they commemorate this day on Saturday?
Well, my first and most fundamental message is to enjoy the diversity, the beauty and the richness of the language. So as I said, it is very much through the language that you can see all the diversity of it. And so myself, when I'm talking or when I'm traveling and seeing people that are from other countries than mine, other countries than France, speaking French, this is always a marvel to see that not only I can find someone to speak to in my own language, but to see that they are bringing to the language new meanings, new way of expressing feelings or description. And this is something of a beauty, and this beauty is also encapsulated in a new initiative that my government has taken with the support of the International Organization of Francophonie, which is what we call a dictionary for Francophone. And this dictionary is actually an app that you can download on your cell phone. And through this app, you're going to find numerous expressions coming from all over the world, which have different meaning or specific meaning, and that will enrich our vocabulary.
Yes. Finally, Ambassador, before you say something in French, especially for people who speak the language, I mean, I was in Paris in 2008. I was young and I was moving around and looking at people speaking French. It was really something wonderful. It was one of my dreams that I want to speak French. And so, Ambassador, how can South Sudanese make good use of this day on Saturday to embrace peace, unity, and reconciliation among themselves?
We are united in diversity. I mean, we are one human race. And celebrating the French language is one way of celebrating this unity in diversity. Because we are all different, the French-speaking people, coming from the 5 continents, having a completely different life experience, but we are sharing this language. We're sharing this capacity of exchanging and expressing ourselves in this specific language. So I think this is a way of saying that we are all equals, we are all men and women, we are all one humanity in our diversity. And somehow, as South Sudanese, you are a very diverse people, but you are one people. And you have to cherish this unity and to cherish being one nation.
Right. And finally, you can say something brief to people who speak French around the world, and including those in South Sudan here. In French language.
With great pleasure. Alors à vos interlocuteurs et à vos auditeurs qui sont francophones, je dirais que je souhaiterais d'abord une excellente journée internationale de la francophonie ce samedi 20 mars. Et comme je le disais en anglais, c'est pour nous l'occasion de célébrer la diversité de notre expression en français qui est très diverse suivant les pays dans lesquels on vient, mais qui ne nous empêche pas de nous comprendre et de nous apprécier les uns les autres, bien au contraire. Donc, prenons plaisir à cette diversité.
Merci, merci ambassador.
Merci infiniment.
Well, and that was the French ambassador to South Sudan, Marc Trouyet. He was our guest today. We talked about the International Francophonie Day, which will be commemorated this Saturday. And the day this year is being celebrated and commemorated under the theme Francophonie, Women Resilient. And more than 360 million people around the world will mark this day. Happy International Francophonie Day. My name is Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and thank you for watching.